Today we're talking about a video that hurts my soul a little bit and shows how financially unresponsible, how financially irresponsible I am. Let's just say that. As you can tell by the title of this video, we're talking about how much money I've spent on the STI building it. There was a lot of comments in the last video of the review of the car asking for the full build list of the car. How much roughly I've spent on it. So we're gonna talk about that today. So we're gonna go over all these different categories. I've kind of got it broken down. We're gonna talk about exterior, interior, drivetrain, suspension, powertrain, all the good stuff. All the good stuff. Ooh. With that, we're just gonna jump right into it. If you guys are looking for any of the parts that we're gonna be talking about in this video, my full build list will be down below in the description with product links. Some of them Amazon, some of them Rally Sport Direct, some of them Mod Garage, all over the place. So I tried to find the cheapest versions of these parts that I could to save you guys a little money so you're not spending as much as I am. So with that, let's jump into it. We're just gonna start going over the exterior and breaking down the cost and kind of what's done to the car. Bam, so we've got the STI. We need no need for introduction on the car. So we're gonna be covering the first category of this, which is just gonna be exterior. So exterior wise, well, it's a difficult word to say multiple times. I've spent around $6,440 getting the car to look the way it is now. I'm gonna be honest, I had no idea that I had spent that much money on the outside of the car, but you know, it is what it is. So it hurts my soul a little bit. So we're gonna start from the front of the car and work our way to the back and just start covering everything that we've done to the outside. This is not going to include wheels, suspension, tires, none of that stuff, just kind of like body paneling stuff. So with that, we're gonna start from the front of the car and work our way back. On the front of the car, we run the OEM STI front lip with the APR splitter, APR canards, and the JDM STI fog bezels that light up. I mean, I really like them. They're, like I said, I love factory parts. I love JDM STI parts. You guys know this. So, I mean, overall the front, not too much done to it. We also have the JDM grille going on, and then we built the headlights a long time ago. These are just the factory STI headlights. The only thing done to them is the diodynamic sea lights. They definitely give the car a more aggressive look in my opinion. And then fog light wise, we just run the Morimoto XBT fog lights. Now overall the front of the car, there's nothing too crazy done to it as you can see. I mean, it's just got some aero done to it and some of the JDM goodies. But overall front, nothing too much. Moving down the side of it, we do run the, I don't even know, I think they're JDM. I don't know. They come on the Hyper Blue models, the JDM STI badges for the fenders and the OEM side skirt extensions, I guess is what you'd call them. You know, they got the little crickets on them. Those were way too much. I think it was like $400. And then moving on with the exterior, as you guys know, we run the JDM STI side mirrors with the blinkers put in them. They got the blind spot detection, all that good stuff. They don't have the blind spot detection. That was the only thing they didn't have. And I recently found out they discontinued these mirrors. So I do apologize for anyone out there who did want these, but if I see any sets floating around on any websites, I'll let you guys know, because I know some of you guys did want those mirrors. And then more just on the side, there's not too much done to the side of the car. I mean, we have the just the OEM Subaru rain guards. I think they're the best fit and finish. I've seen some other off-brand ones out there that, I mean, they look okay-ish, but nothing like the OEM factory ones do. And then also exterior-wise, we just run the OEM Vortex generator, the APR GTC 300 STI spec wing. The only difference between the STI spec and the generic one are the mounting plates. These ones use the factory STI holes with the addition of this extra hole that you have to drill. And then that's pretty much it exterior wise. I mean, on the back of the car, which is a little difficult to get back there right now, the only thing back there are these the rear JDM splash guards. And then we also have the carbon fiber trunk trim back there, which I also paid way too much money for. So kind of have it all broken down up out here, and I'll post this list, like I said, down in the description below, so that way you guys can jump on these parts if you want any of them. But overall, exterior wise, that's really all that's done to the car. I don't know how that cost me $6,400. But the cost breakdown will be down below. Geez, I spent way too much money on the outside. So with the outside done, we'll just cover, I guess we'll cover wheels, tires, and suspension next. So I'm just gonna get the camera put on a tripod and we'll talk about this one for a minute and then keep going down these list of good parts. All right, so because wheels and tires are obviously, you can see those ones, we're also gonna touch on on the categories you can't see. So brakes, suspension, drivetrain. We're gonna cover all those categories, and we'll jump into the interior, and then we'll jump into the fun stuff, which is the engine. So for wheels, tires, we obviously run the Work D9Rs with the Continental DW06 Extreme contacts. So for the wheel tire combo, I think I paid around $2,400-ish. Exact pricing will be down below, just like I said, with links to everything, because I wanna help you guys out in your search for the parts you want. So that's really it for wheels and tires. The next one we're gonna touch on is going to be the brakes. So brake-wise, Jesus, I'm pulling on things. Brake-wise, we don't have anything done too crazy to the car. We've got some StopTech stainless steel front and rear brake lines. We've got the Perrin Master Cylinder Brace, because if you don't run that, I do highly suggest that part actually, because the firewall flexes a lot when you hit the brakes, and it helps a lot with brake pedal feel. But anyways, I'm digressing. Anyways, back to brakes. The only really brake thing that we have aside from that is the StopTech sport pads, which I still need to swap the rotors on this car. So if anyone has any good experience with any rotors, please let me know what you guys run. I've always ran the StopTech slotted ones. I don't like drilled rotors because you get the warping and the cracking from all the holes in them, so I only run slotted. But anyways, that's brakes. I mean, there's not terribly too much done with brakes. Now, that total cost for brakes that I've spent, not too much actually. It's only about $250, which isn't bad at all. Actually, is that right? Only about 240 bucks. Not too bad for brakes, and it really helps improve the brake pedal feel, especially those stainless steel brake lines. You get rid of all the flexing. Now, when it comes to the suspension, oh God, I've spent more than I thought I have. I've spent just under $6,000 on suspension components, but overall, like I said in my review, the suspension components really help put the car together just when you're driving it and how the car feels. Now, where does all that money go? A lot of it went into the air suspension on the car. I think roughly it was about $2,600 of that went to air suspension, which leaves about $4,500, which is not. Jesus, so maybe there's more. I don't know where all the money went. The money's down below. Anyways, so for suspension stuff, we run the JDM STI front subframe supports, the JDM STI rear subframe brace as well, the Whiteline 24mm rear sway bar, Whiteline 26mm front sway bar, the Perrin front polyurethane end links, the Perrin spherical rear end links. Just because the car is bagged, I wanted a little more movement out of those rear end links. Since the rear naturally cambers out a little bit more, it helps with it helps level things out. You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. We have the SPC adjustable toe arms in the rear, the Whiteline lower control arms. Good bang for your buck on that one if you're looking for control arms. Like I said, we also have the Airlift Performance. I run the Airlift Performance 3P management system and the Airlift Performance struts front and rear. They're the ones that everyone uses, I think. The last couple suspension things, which kind of goes into steering, is the Whiteline Cusco steering rack combo. So I run the Whiteline bushing inserts with the class guys that go on the power steering rack, and then also that Cusco power steering rack brace. It really helps to give a little bit more driver feedback from that steering wheel. Now, suspension wise, that's really about it for that. There is more that I do want to do. I just don't have the monies because, as you can see, I spent it all, unfortunately. Yeah, so let's talk about drivetrain stuff. That's my favorite part. I love drivetrain stuff. You know, for the little amount of money I put into drivetrain mods, it really did make a huge difference on the car. So I've only spent about, I say only like it's not a lot, it's a lot of money. I spent $1,000 on drivetrain modifications, which is all gonna go into that Cobb pitch stop mount, the IAG Competition Series transmission mount, the Cartboy short shifter, front and rear shifter bushings with that one, the Whiteline positive shift kit, which is a pretty good bang for your buck. As you know, we run that Torque Solutions rear diff carrier, which also made a pretty good difference, as well as those Whiteline bushing inserts for the rear diff. I guess really the last thing drivetrain wise is that stainless steel clutch line and the Perrin, what is that? What do you call it? The Perrin pitch stop brace. Thank you for whoever helped me with that one. Jesus, I'm struggling tonight. But drivetrain wise, really not that much money in comparison to everything else. Total cost, I'll tell you at the end, but it's a very small fraction of total cost, which is good on me. The engine category is the one where we spent the most money. So I'm gonna grab the camera, we'll walk over to the engine, I'll throw some lights on it, and we'll start going over the engine category goodness and how much money I've spent on that one Ooh, I'm excited. I'm not excited because, fuck, dude, I don't like looking at these numbers. I don't think you guys do either. Whoop. I lied, we still gotta do interior stuff. So interior-wise, I've spent about $2,900 on the interior, getting it to a point where I'm almost happy with it. There's still some things I wanna do, like swap out the seats. I think these are a little bulky and they're not the most comfortable out there. I mean, they are heated, they're not terrible, but after driving the BRZ around for a while, the BRZ seats are a lot more like compacting and they hold you in a little bit better, which I would like out of these. Now with the interior wise, obviously I've swapped out this dash trim because I hated, like I said in the review video, the carbon fiber, or the fake carbon fiber stuff. So this is out of I think it's out of a Forester. I'm not entirely sure, but it fit. It might be out of another car. Don't know. Looks good. I like it. And then we're just gonna go from left to right in the interior. As you guys know, I run the Type RA steering wheel just because I like the Alcantara. We also swapped out the bezel down here for the 2018 black looking one because I think it looks better. Gauge wise, we have the AEM boost and AFR gauges up here, as well as the SMY gauge cluster. And JDM push start button just because I thought it was cool. Now this is an area that I like a lot. Now we run the AEM oil pressure gauge down here, as well as I got this out of a 2018 Plus STI. I think this one looks a lot better than that crappy carbon. It's not crappy, but it's not the best. That carbon fiber one that came with the car. I think this one looks 1,000 times better. Plus, it still lights up, so it looks good. Oh, well, before this buzzing destroys my ears, we also have the OEM red footwell lighting that I added. My car didn't come with it, and I thought it was just a little cool feature. And then I also ended up swapping out the climate control knobs. I don't know if they changed these on the newer ones, but I liked just the black rings a little bit better. I paid way too much for them since they are OEM. I think these were $30 a piece just for the rings, but worth it. Black cob shift knob, just like we run in the BRZ. I like the black one a little bit better in the STI. I think it suits the car more than another color would, but this is my favorite shift knob on the market. I've ran the shift knob on all of my cars. It's reasonably priced, I'd say, compared to some of the other ones I've seen out there. It's only like 70 bucks and it just feels amazing in the hands. I swapped out the hood console because mine came with that really crappy plastic one. I think the 2018's got the revised one with the leather hood. So we just have the leather hood console with the red stitching. Now overall interior wise, I think that about wraps it up. And then as you can see a little bit better over here, that other part of the dash trim, I think this looks a lot better. Now there's more that I want to do to the interior, like we said, which is going to drive up cost, but we're not talking about what I want to do. We're talking about what I've done. So interior wise, that's it. Now we're going to jump into the good stuff and talk about engine. Oh, we've made it to the engine part. So this is the fun category. Now, in my review video that I know a lot of people are asking about the cost, I make 330 wheel horsepower, 350 wheel torque. And this is what it looks like. And how much does it cost to do that? Reliably, let me add, is $7,600-ish, give or take some tens in there, but $7,600 to make 330 wheel horsepower reliably on the stock block. Just let that sink in for a minute there. Now, I'm not including any of the dress-up components such as the radiator shroud, the oil cap over there, but they are parts that we will talk on. Intake-wise, we're just gonna go from this side over to that side and we'll cover it all. So intake-wise, I run the Cobb SF Airbox. As you can see, I cut the hell out of it to be able to make the front mount intercooler piping fit in there. But it's just a Cobb SF intake with their small little pre-MAF hose, post-MAF hose, whatever you want to call it. We also run the ETS 3.5-inch intercooler, front mount, obviously, because we hate top mount intercoolers just because they're a pain to put on and off. Over here, I also run the Street Series IAG AOS. Like I said, I want to do all of this reliably. Boost control, we use the Cobb 3-port boost controller, the Cobb XLE bypass valve. Now, I just thought this was a little cool piece and I wanted to show you guys it, but it's the JDM STI oil cap. Just got that one in. Really expensive. I don't really think it's worth the money, but it's 150 bucks, but it looks cool. Looks cool, not really worth the money. And then we also run that, since we're talking about the little oiling pieces over here, we also run the Killer Bee oil fill relocation kit guy. We have the Cobb 1050cc fuel injectors, which I can't show you guys, but they're down there under that stupid death shield that no one likes to take off. We also run the Cobb fuel pressure regulator kit just because I didn't want the fuel stumble being an issue when I was getting tuned, so we went ahead and swapped that out. Now, oiling wise, I still have the Perrin oil cooler that I need to add to the car. I just got all my AN lines so that way I could reroute the lines to custom mount it wherever we're gonna mount it. The radiator wise, like I said, I wanna do all of this reliably. So we have a Mishimoto X-Line radiator, and then oil wise, we have the Killer Bee oil pan, oil pickup, and windage tray. Now, like I said, all of that reliably to make 330 wheel horsepower. I mean, I guess if we're talking downpipes and catbacks too, since we are talking about some engine goodies, we run the Cobb catted downpipe and the ETS Extreme with no mufflers. Those are our big costs. It's about $1,800 to add in there. But overall, 330 wheel horsepower and 350 foot-pounds of torque will cost you around $7,600-ish if you want to do it reliably, but you can do it however you want. Your car, your money, build it the way you want to. Now, do I think it's worth it? I don't know. I actually don't have an answer to that. I enjoy it. I mean, you never know when you could die. You could die tomorrow, so why hold on to all your money? But anyways, that's gonna wrap up kind of the engine category. Like I said, all of these prices will be down below in the description with the links to order them or check them out or look at them. Whatever you guys are gonna end up doing with them. If you wanna spit on them, you can. I don't know. But overall, we're gonna move back over to the bench area. Sorry for shining a light in your face. And then I'll tell you the total cost of how much I spent on all of this just to get the car to where it is. All right, so now that we've kind of covered all of that, total cost that I've spent on my STI, and I'm probably forgetting some small things here and there, and this isn't including like maintenance items like fluids, spark plugs, filters, all that stuff. We have spent $25,414, not including the price of the car. Holy hell, if you tack into the price of the car, you're nearing the S209 territory, which is, oh my God. Oh, do I regret it? Oh God, not one bit. Don't regret it at all. Like I said, I love this car. This car has sentimental value to me. I don't regret a single penny of what I spent on the car. I could have used the money for other things, but like I said, you never know when you're gonna die. You never know when your last day is gonna be. So personally, I mean, obviously I saved some money, but I don't go above an extreme with it. I like to enjoy life. I like to enjoy the things I can enjoy. So $25,000 in a car that has sentimental value that I love, I'm all for it, and I'm gonna spend more on it. So there you have it. For those of you that were curious, from the review video, we have spent a little over $25,000 on the car. Update wise, I do have some channel updates for you guys. I have made a decision with the STI because it is no longer the daily driver that I take to work. We're gonna put it on ethanol. We're throwing some ethanol on the car. There's one station near me that I'm just gonna stock up on. I need to look into storing ethanol a little bit, but if there's anyone out there that stores ethanol and you have any suggestions, please let me know. I've never stored ethanol before and I know it can go bad very easily, but I'm very excited for this. So ideally, I mean, the parts I wanna do to the STI, they're gonna be very expensive, so it's gonna take me a little bit of time to actually get it going, but we're gonna end up doing headers, up pipe, turbo, and ethanol, all on the stock block. Those are the next major upgrades for the power of the car, and we'll see where we land on stock block, because like I said, I want to push that factory engine as far as I can before it decides to completely shred itself to pieces like a cheese grater does an onion. I don't know why you're putting an onion on a cheese grater, but maybe you are. But anyways, I'm excited. Hopefully in the coming months here, ideally, I want to do it before summertime so we can take it to the track on ethanol and just shred it. Just shred it. But overall, that's all the updates I got for you guys right now. We're going to be doing some BRZ installs coming up. I'm really excited to get some of the BRZ stuff going because I am starting to grow more attached to that car as I drive it more. But anyways, if you guys like this video, you know what to do. Go ahead and hit that little thumbs up. Turn that little thumbs up blue. Ooh. 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 Oh yeah, and if you're not already subscribed to the channel, and you want to be, one of these corners, don't know which one, ooh, but I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, homies. Woo!